You are about to step into the Beryl Solomon podcast show.
Hey.
No fluff, talking about greatness, talking about wealth, talking about how to become the number one man or woman in your space. Let's roll.
For real Jewish businessman. Shout out the homie Solomon. Nobody was following that, everybody follow him. For real Jewish businessman.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Beryl Solomon Show. How are you doing, everybody? So excited to have my beautiful people here with me. I love you guys dearly. You cannot imagine. Today, we're discussing an extremely interesting topic for any business person, any salesperson, anybody working within an organization. By the way, hang on, before I get to that, by the way, what is it we're going to be talking about today is how to build a niche. By the way, I want to throw this out there. This show is not just for business owners. This show is not just for people who are sole proprietors, entrepreneurs. This is for anybody that is in sales, anybody that is an accountant in a company, a CFO, a COO, somebody that wants to help the company that they're in grow. Because that's ultimately what the end of the day is. We want a contract here today, and I said to everybody, all right, great, all right, guys, we're still all employed because we got money in the business. We have more contracts. If there's no contracts, I don't care if you're the janitor, the CFO, the CEO, or the secretary, or the salesperson, whoever it is, you got to make sure that there's dollars coming into your company, and you got to make sure that it is secure, so you in turn could have security for yourself and your family and your dreams and your goals and your community. All right, so let's hop right into it. How to build a niche. First of all, you have to understand why to build a niche. Let me tell you how powerful it is. When I first started this company, we had one product, which was 2-minute corporate videos. We'd go into companies and we would do these 2-minute, video synopsis of the company, and it was great and it was fun. But the problem was I literally had to go into companies and sell. Finally, I got the contract and we did a deal for $7,500, 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand. But the problem is I never had anything else to do with that company. And the next company that I would work with was so different from the first company that had no relationship to each other, and I wasn't able to build momentum. I remember Elias one time, he was calling a guy, one of our clients, shout out to Steven Zeitz. And Steven from what company is he from? Crystal Tech Nano. I remember Elias called him on the phone, one of my salesperson here, and he says, "You guys are like vampires. I can't believe that you're calling me right now. This is crazy." Meaning, I can't believe that you actually picked up the phone and you have to call me one by one. It was almost like a cold call, which we'll do it a different episode. I completely am against cold calling. You should never do it. It's called cold calling for a reason, because it is cold, all right? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Please put your comments your questions in the comments area. I will not leave today without answering all of your questions. By the way, you could find this episode on YouTube. You could find this on Instagram. You could find this on Stitcher. You could find this on iTunes. You could find this on Spotify. Beryl Solomon is invading your life wherever you like to consume content. All right. Why build a niche? You want to build a niche because you want to become the expert in your field. Let me give you an example that I always use. You would never want to go to your dentist and he tells you, hey, by the way, not only do I do root canals, but I could also change the tires on your car when I'm done. You don't want to go to a guy who does everything because he's a jack of all trades and doesn't specify in one thing. When you go to your dentist and when you get a root canal from him, you want to make sure that he is the best root canal dentist on planet Earth. Grace, can I ask you, could you fix, I see that we're slanted on Facebook Live over here. Could you pick up that leg, the leg all the way on the right, on your right, and put something underneath it? Cool, yes.
Are you seeing yourself on?
Because it looks like my office is on a, looks like my office is on a slant. There you go. No, you're gonna need something a little bit bigger.
Are you seeing yourself on Facebook?
Yes, I'm seeing myself on Facebook. I look really handsome. All right, great. Next reason, you need a little bit more. You need maybe the charger over there that's on the table. So why you want to build a niche is, you want to build a niche because you want to become the expert in the field. You want to become the trusted, use right there, the white thing, yeah. You want to become the trusted source in your industry. You want to become the guy or the girl that everybody knows, this is what he does best. This is what she does best. When you become that person, people will automatically trust you and you begin building a brand. You know, we went to all types of different industries, which I'm going to get into next, much better. Next, how to build a niche is, at first you have to go wide. You have no choice but to go wide. Again, when I first started this company, we would do everything and anybody. We did crazy industries. We did everything from manufacturing to golf courses to real estate to payment systems to, you cannot imagine how many different industries, how many different niches we went into, and we tasted and tested every industry out there. And what happened was, after a while, is you start to see what works. So there were some industries that we fell flat on our face and we tried and it had virtually no results. But then we did some industries that we saw how incredibly successful the results were. Once we saw those industries that we were strong in, we said to ourselves, wow, we have to get more into this industry because we have success here. And what happens is, once you're starting to see what works, you begin to be able to talk to the people that are also in that industry. So you could literally call the competitor of the person you just did and say, hey, I just did the guy down the street. We did a phenomenal job for him. Here's the success that we had for him. And at that point, you don't have to sell anymore. It becomes something that becomes obvious to them. It becomes something that they realize and they understand that they need. And it's not a luxury, but rather it's a necessity. We got off a call this morning. We sold the guy a $13,000 package within 5 minutes. Really, because he realized that it's not a necessity. It's not a luxury. It's a necessity. This is something that he needs. You buy a car, you need gasoline. It's not a luxury. And when you start building yourself a niche, when you start going deep into a vertical, you start building a brand, a reputation. Very, very powerful. We're building one right now, and I'm going to tell you what it is in a second. So once you see what works, then you develop a unique product. If you're going to build a niche, you have to understand that it's very small. First of all, for people out there that don't know what a niche is, let me explain it to you. When you go wide, it means you do everything. You do every type of business. I'm just going to put it simple. You go to a buffet that has all types of food. Chances are the food at that place is not going to be very great. But if you go to a Chinese buffet, it's a niche in a certain type of industry and a certain type of food that they're serving one thing and they're doing it the best. So a niche means that you go into an industry, you find an industry, you find a certain type of business, and you say, this is the vertical that we're going to go into. Maybe it's you're servicing accounting firms, maybe you're servicing golf courses, maybe you're servicing schools, whatever it is. But you want to find that specific niche. It's a very, very narrow vertical in a market, and you focus there and you keep on hitting that market and that vertical over and over and over and over. So the next step is you have to develop a product. Guys, please ask your questions on Facebook and on Instagram. There's an Instagram we're going to get to in a second. Let's take it. Go ahead. Yes, Instagram.
So what do you recommend is the best structure for a salesman that works independently or out of the company office to stay focused and motivated?
So great question. Who asked it?
It was Gedalia.
Gedalia, thank you for asking the question. I appreciate it. Personally, if you have the choice, I would work in a company environment. One of the prerequisites for working in Wealthy Commercials is you must work in our physical office. I don't like freelancers. I don't like when people work outside because there's a certain magic that happens when you're inside of an office. There's an energy. People are motivating each other. You're jamming it out. It's an awesome experience. But if you don't have that luxury, if you don't have that possibility, what I suggest is you got to have somebody there that's mentoring you constantly, somebody there that's giving you that inspiration when you need it. My personal favorite, as everybody knows, is Grant Cardone. You got to get yourself either a real sales coach or a virtual sales coach, and you got to listen to this guy every time you feel down. When I feel down, I go on YouTube, I watch a video by Grant Cardone, I listen to a podcast by Grant Cardone. If I'm that guy for you, I want to be that guy. I want to be your older brother. I want to be Big B, your older brother, and I want to help you. I want to help you grow in your life. So if you're alone, click on 12:30. I'm doing Facebook Lives and Instagram Lives every day, 12:30. Let me be there with you. Let me help you out. But that's what you got to do. You got to find a mentor, find somebody that's putting out content at scale that you could listen to and you could follow, that's going to be there with you in your struggle and in your grind. Great question. Thank you for asking. I'm taking questions, guys. Please ask them. All right. Next step to developing a niche is you have to develop a unique product. If anybody says to me, hey Beryl, a great business is, I don't know, selling toothpicks or selling white medical gloves or selling whatever, I would say, thank you very much, but no thank you. I have a friend, he's in the glove business, he sells gloves, his name is Evan Carls. If you're watching this right now, Evan, I love you, buddy. He developed a niche within his family business where he was selling medical gloves, wasn't having success, but then he started selling hypoallergenic medical gloves for people that are allergic to latex. So he could now sell it to hospitals, and he found a niche product. You have to develop a niche product. We developed a niche product for an industry, which is the elder care industry. It's in the United States and in Canada. When people get to a certain age, they put them in these wonderful facilities that help them with their daily routines, their daily lives. And the way that they market it is that they go into hospitals or they go into rehab centers, and they'll actually try to get those clients to come into their facilities. And the way that they were doing it was with brochures. So we said, hey, this is the 21st century. Let's work with this industry. And instead of putting it in regular brochures, we're going to take these things, which are video brochures. And when you go into the hospitals, you open it up like this. And when you're showing it to patients, your video starts playing on the inside. You guys see that on Instagram, on Facebook? So it's something you walk into the hospitals with. It's very powerful. It's very unique. It's very new. It's very cutting edge. And we developed a niche in this market where we are quickly becoming, with God's help, the largest elder care nursing facility video production company on planet Earth. That's just what's happening. We signed 15 contracts yesterday. When I used to have to fight for every little deal that I got. You don't understand how long it took for me to convince. The 15 that we signed yesterday, it happened in a matter of 10 minutes. Why? Because all of his competitors have it already. We're working with all his competitors. They know that it works. I had referrals from his buddies that have used us. We have a unique product. I'm not selling what everybody else is selling. Everybody else is selling brochures, pamphlets, websites, or videos. We're selling the whole turnkey process. We're selling a unique product. All right, the next thing you got to do to develop a niche, and guys, please ask your questions. You have the opportunity now. Please do it. Next is join trade associations. I spoke about this yesterday. One of the biggest mistakes that I see people doing is they fly under the radar. The worst thing that you could do, what's that? Is that a check? Pass it. All right.
It's a check. Yeah, it's not a check.
Bam! A bill. It's okay, guys. Don't be scared about having bills. It's okay. If you're in business, you have a cash flow. Cash comes in, cash goes out. Don't be scared of cash going out. Invest in things. This is a bill for an investment that we made, and I'm very happy to have just received it. Next, join trade associations. I spoke about this yesterday. A lot of people try to fly under the radar. You ever hear that expression? I told somebody about this product that we're doing, and they said, you should really lay low. You shouldn't promote it so much. You don't want so many people to find out about it. And this person, by the way, is very close to me. I considered him a mentor at one point. I said, if I stay low key, if I stay below the radar, how's anybody supposed to know? He said, but people are going to start copying you. I said, let them copy me. Everybody wants the original. We're the original guys in town, and we're taking over this industry. You know why? Because we're going to go faster, we're going to go bigger, and we're going to go harder than anybody else that's in here, because everyone's trying to fly under the radar, where we are specifically not only trying to fly above the radar, but we're trying to smash the radar and destroy it so that we're the only guys flying in the air. So join trade associations. Get known. Get your name out there, people. A lot of you are sitting in your WeWork, your one-man show or one-woman show, or you're sitting in your basement eating Fruit Loops in your underwear, and you're doing nothing, flying under the radar. You got to get out there. You can't be scared to post on Facebook. You can't be scared to post on Instagram. Don't be scared to post on LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. Post it on your mother's forehead if you have to, but get yourself out there. Don't be a wimp. Question.
More of a comment. Adam Lackman said, invent a new radar.
Adam Lackman, invent a new. Adam, thank you for that comment. I will let you invent the radar for me. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Guys, ask your questions. We will not end this live without answering all of your incredible questions. All right, join trade associations. Whatever industry is out there, most industries have associations. So, for example, if you are in the marketing industry, there's tons of marketing associations. If you're in the nursing home industry, there's tons of nursing home associations. If you're in the electronics industry, tons of associations. Get out there, people. Go where the money is. There's no money in your basement. There's no money in your office. There's no money sitting at the table with your friends. By the way, I've been dying to say this. While everybody's out there watching soccer, or was watching soccer, I was making money. All right? While everyone was wasting their time watching FIFA, I was making moolah. All right? Don't waste your time. There's no money at the Habs game. There's no money at FIFA. There's no money in soccer. You have to be focused on getting your money right so that you could be somebody one day in your space. I know everyone's freaking out. I can't believe you just said that that's the only way to be somebody once you have money. Let's be honest, people, okay? Let's be honest with ourselves. The people that are able to help society the most are the people that have a few bucks. Fair statement? You're going to be able to help your synagogue. You're going to be able to help your local community center. You want to be able to help your local school. You need to have money, or at least connect it to people that have money. Money makes the world go round. It's true. I'm sorry. It's the world that we live in. There's nothing wrong with it. Money's not evil. Hate me for saying it. Don't care. Want the people that are watching this to be financially successful. Don't be scared of money. It's not a scary thing. It's a very, very good thing, very powerful thing. By the way, caveat to that whole thing. Money is powerful, so is fire. Fire could heat up a house. Fire could also burn a house. Fair statement? Money is the same thing. If you're using money for the right things, it could be the most positive thing in the world, and the opposite is also true. But that's one of the things that I want to bring to this community, is to not only talk about money, because everyone talks about making money, but making money, what to do with it after, how to do good with it after, how to build a family with it after, how to use it for the true intention of what it was supposed to be for. Questions, Instagram and Facebook, I am ready to take them. Position yourself as an authority. That is the next step to building a niche. When we go into a market, we do not say that we're one of the best. We do not say that one day we hope to be the best. I firmly believe that we actually are the best. If you cut me, I will bleed confidence, because I understand that I have built a team here that is so powerful, so strong, so incredible. We have a team of 15, dare I say, champions that work at this company, the best people that I could find. I've interviewed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people to put together this team. We have a powerful company, and I believe, I really do, that we are the very best in our space. And that comes to my next point, which is keep your prices high. I spoke to a competitor this morning, which is not really a competitor because we're partners with each other, and they're selling the exact same product that we're selling for half the price. And I called them on the phone. I said, hey, why are you doing that? We're charging 2 to 3 times what you're charging. I don't understand why you are undercutting the market. We never had an objection about price. Nobody ever argued with us about it. No one ever told me that my pricing was outrageous. We deliver a quality product on time, every time. What's the issue? He said, you know what, I never thought about it like that. I understand that because I came from the commodity industry. The metal industry is like that. Somebody's going to sell out his own family member for 1 penny more on the pound of metal. But we would, in our industry, we would talk to each other. Our competitors would talk to each other, and we would say to each other, hey, listen, this is what I'm charging, don't undercut the market. And we all had an agreement amongst ourselves, and we said, do not undercut the market, keep the prices high. You ever hear of a little organization called OPEC before? Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. It's the largest distributor of oil producing country. It's the largest organization of oil producing countries in the world. They control, I don't know what it is, but it's the vast majority of the world's oil. And when they see that prices are low for oil, what they do is they all have a meeting and they say, hey guys, turn off your pumps and stop producing so much oil. That way we could have a shortage in the market, which is going to bring up the prices. So if you're in a niche, you're not competing with everybody. That's why you're in a niche. If you want to compete with everybody, go sell bland insurance. Go sell something bland. Go sell apples. But if you are competing for a very specific niche fruit from Latin America, charge what you want. Keep your prices high. Do not undercut the market. That is why you are in a niche to begin with. We pride ourselves in being one of the most expensive in the market. If you ask me, my heart will tell you that for the product that we deliver, we over-deliver for the price that we charge. And the price that we charge is already very strong. And we don't go to go cheap. We go to go strong because we believe in what we do, and we believe that when we charge, we're justified in it because we deliver a very, very, very quality product. A lot of times people tell me, can I negotiate on price? And I'll say to them, if I have to charge $1 less, something will suffer. I'd rather not take the contract, and I'd rather charge what we want to charge so that we are able to deliver you the maximum product and the maximum quality possible, and I'm happy to do the contract. Questions, Instagram, Facebook. Last point that I want to bring out there is, if you don't have a niche yet, what I suggest is there's something called the 80-20 rule. Instagram Live is done in 2 minutes. I have to get off at 12:55 and have an appointment, so if you do have a question, please ask it. What I suggest is there's something called the 80-20 rule. 80% of your revenues come from 20% of your clients. Look at the clients that are delivering to you the most amount of revenue and see how you could go deeper into that vertical. I had a guy call me yesterday. He said, you know what? I have a great idea. Let's start doing real estate videos. You'll do videos of apartments for rent. I said, you know what? I was already there. I already did that. First of all, it's an oversaturated market. There's too many people in that industry. There's too many people taking videos of apartments. Apartment owners that have 95% capacity don't want to pay for for the marketing that we do. In general, my experience has been that people in the real estate industry are cheap. They pinch pennies everywhere that they can, and this is the first place that they pinch pennies is in their marketing. I said, you know what? I'm not interested. I'm not doing it. I want to go into industries that have big margins, fat profit margins. They have to be making a lot of money in order to pay me a lot of money. Question?
Got a question from Instagram from SY Shifrin.
SY Shifrin, thank you for your question. What do you got?
How do you make yourself stick out in an industry that is hundreds of years old and with companies that have millions more than I do?
Right, so good question. I would like to know the industry that you're in, if you could comment that. I was in the metal business, and that was a business that was thousands of years old. It actually speaks about in the Bible about recycling metal. Thousands and thousands of years old. We had companies that were way bigger than us. And I looked at our company and I looked at the profit margins and I realized that there's a part of our business that we're making the most money on. This is when I was in my family business. Yeah, what's the industry?
Water purification.
Water purification? Okay, cool. So we're going to get to that. So in our industry, I looked at where we were making the most money, and it happened to have been on a product. It was metal powder or metal sludge. When you have metal that's solid like this, everybody recycles that. But I realized in our company that when metal was in powder form, and there's certain manufacturing processes that have metal powder or whatever, I don't want to get into it, but it's harder to recycle. Nobody wants to take it. So I saw an opportunity there to create a niche within a business that was literally thousands of years old, and that became the profit center of our company. So to answer your question is, do things that people are not willing to do. Do things that people are not willing to do, and find a niche within the water pure. So for example, the question was, by the way, for those watching on Instagram or on Facebook that didn't hear, or even on YouTube or on Spotify, what was the question again? I'm just going to repeat it for everybody.
How do you make yourself stick out in an industry that is hundreds of years old with companies that have millions more than me?
So how do you make your company, great question, how do you make your company stand out that is hundreds of years old with companies that have millions of dollars more than you? So first is find a niche which is your business, you said, is water purification. Find a niche. It said the live video on Instagram, on Facebook ended. It's okay, Instagram's still here with us. It's all good. Find a niche within the water purification sector. For example, working with hospitals, working with schools, working with or municipalities, whatever the niche market, there's niches within your market that exist. Don't just go to try to do water purification for everybody and anybody, but rather find a market that needs you and repeat it client after client after client. So if you have a great client that's a university, for example, go to the university down the street, down the block, or in the same city and say, hey, we just did this for McGill, and walk to Concordia and say, hey, we would like to do your water purification also. So you nicheify, which is a word that I just made up, nicheify yourself within that market, within that segment. Great question. Thank you guys for asking. I appreciate it. God bless you. Do you have any other questions on Instagram before we end? My promise to you, ladies and gentlemen, is I will answer every single question that you guys ask on these lives. I will not end them, even if you're here till 1 o'clock in the morning. I love you. God bless. And let's make our careers and our businesses great again.